Hello. It's officially the new year, so happy new year! Now, I feel like I do have a wee bit of explaining to do because I haven't posted a video and I think by the time this uploads, I think it'll be 6 weeks. So I haven't posted anything since mid-November. Now, did I plan to take 6 weeks off? Absolutely not. I really did not plan. I had like loads of December content. I had a big vlog because I went away a big trip. So did I plan it? The answer to that is no. Did I need the break off? Absolutely. I think throughout the months, I had been doing too much. I had been severely burning myself out, but not really checking in with myself, not really making sure that I was okay, because I was not okay. See, come December, I was not okay. I really wasn't. I think since March, to be honest, I have been in a bit of fight or flight mode because March is when I seriously started looking for a place to live, seriously started looking for a flat of my own, and I think since then it's just been chaotic moment after chaotic moment after chaotic moment, and I don't like to live in chaos, right? I'm a very home person. I like to chill. I'm a Virgo, right? I don't live off chaos. I don't thrive on it. I don't thrive on pressure, right? I feel like I've only just settled. I felt a wee bit settled in September, October time because that's when I moved in and really kind of got everything going. But then after that, it was like Christmas. Now you need to think about Christmas. Now you need to think about the big New York trip that you went on. It was just, there was always something, there was always one big thing that was happening this year that was like something to do, something to focus on, something to sort out, something. And I never really took time for myself. I never really took, I mean, don't get me wrong, reading, I was taking time for reading, right? But that was also for vlogs. So now that we've got my mental state throughout December out the way, I just wanted to sit and have a chat and a wee catch up for what actually happened in December. So at the start of December, I think at least I didn't break it, right? But I think I fractured my nose, okay? So this was also another reason why I didn't want to sit in front of a camera because I had a massive bruise right over the bridge of my nose and I didn't want to wear makeup every day. So I basically scalped my face off a wall, didn't I? Because I mean, I don't know why I done it. I don't know why it happened. My spatial awareness was very clearly off and see when I say it thudded, okay? I felt it move. I felt this bit move from here to over here and it crunched and I was very concerned. I wasn't concerned until I went into the bathroom and I was like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. And then I started to get a big trickle of blood right down the side of my nose. Panicked, didn't I? Massive panic attack, as you do when things happen. So for the first 2 weeks of December, I thought I had a broken nose. Didn't want to go and get it checked out because I was going to New York and I was like, do you know what? I don't have time for this. I don't have time to deal with this. I'm just going to leave it and it'll be fine and it'll be absolutely fine. And you know what? I think it's all right. I think it doesn't look too bad. Right? I don't actually think I fully broke it. I think I would know if I fully broke it. And everybody was like, oh, if you really want it checked out, go to A&E, like go and get it checked out. And I was like, but they're not going to do anything with it anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not completely broken. There is very clearly some damage that's happened to it because it was bruised and it was sore, right? It was agony. And of course I was going to New York, so I was like, do you know what? See if it's that bad, I'll get it checked out when I come back. And do you know what? I think it looks all right. It definitely wasn't broken, but I do think I've probably mildly fractured it in some way because I did feel a crunch and I heard the crunch and it doesn't quite feel the way it did, you know. Sorry if this is TMI. So then after completely mentally burning myself out and then almost breaking my nose, it was time to go to New York. We were going on a family holiday to New York in December and do you know what? I wasn't prepared for that either. I've wanted to go to New York my entire life. Like I really cannot believe that we managed to pull it off this year of all years. Everybody always says, everybody that we know or have heard of or I've seen people vlogging going to New York, everybody's like, oh, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's this, that, and the next thing. It's busy. Everybody's like, it's busy, be prepared to walk like you've never walked before. Be prepared for it to be the busiest city you've ever been to in your life. And I was hearing this and I was like, oh, I think these people are just over-exaggerating. They really weren't. New York is a different beast. I think we done between 20 and 25,000 steps every single day. We were walking. But you know what? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I do feel like it went by in a blur. So I'm kind of glad that I do have some footage from it. But also in the lead up to New York, my dad got very ill and then he got better. Then my mum got very ill kind of a couple of days before we went to New York. So she was kind of ill before New York and into New York. Then it hit me. Then I got the illness. I think the illness really just caught me. And I was like, do you know what? This is probably a good thing because it's making me rest. It's making me not do anything. It's making me sit down. It's making me do something that I haven't done all year, which is rest. And I'm also glad that I managed to get ill before Christmas because I've not even showed you my tree. I'll probably show you my tree because I'm probably going to take it down in the next couple of days. I'm so happy with my first Christmas tree. Bought it all on my own, bought all my Christmas decorations on my own, brought some nice ones back from New York. I'm so delighted with this Christmas tree. You have no idea. So yeah, I had my first Christmas tree, my first Christmas morning in my flat. That was really nice. That was really, really nice actually, because it was kind of a conversation. I was like, am I going to go back to my mum's on Christmas Eve and then spend Christmas morning with them, or do I want to wake up in my own flat on Christmas morning? And I'm quite glad that I did wake up in my own flat on Christmas morning. It was very chill. It was very easy going. I like waking up in my own space now. I feel like whenever I go back to my mum's, because I've stayed with her a couple of times if I've been on like a family night out or something like that, and it's easier to stay with them. It was just nice to wake up in my own flat, in my own space, on Christmas morning, even though I wasn't doing anything. Like, nobody was here. It was nice, it was cosy, I really liked it. And then of course I went over to my mum's at 8 o'clock in the morning to see them and have a nice morning with them too. But Christmas was nice, Christmas was lovely. I had a really nice time with my family. Boyfriend came round, met my aunties for the first time. Don't even think I've told you that I have a boyfriend. Might not even keep this in because it's a big deal, isn't it? It's a big deal to have a boyfriend for me. Anyway, but I love him. I'm not gonna lie. I love them. And now, in the space between Christmas and New Year, I have honestly just been planning content for the new year and resting and trying to read, because see, when I say I was burnt out from November until now, I haven't read a book in 6 weeks. I've picked up Beartown, got 150 pages in, was actually really enjoying it, and then wanted to vlog it for you guys, so I was like, put it down, put it away, we'll do this another time. Picked up You Again by Kate Goldbeck because I was like, do you know what? New York City, it's the vibes. Got 50 pages in and I was like, do you know what? I'm not really in the mood for this either. So I have picked up a couple of books, not really finished any, and I say not really, I definitely haven't finished any since November. And do you know what? I've just been sitting here in the space between Christmas and New Year thinking about my goals, thinking about my plans for content, and I think I'm just going to have a wee chat with you and go through them with you right now. Went and got myself a wee cup of tea. I've got it in the Strand bookstore mug. How cute. Again, has it on the inside. What is it? Is this like your kind of just general thing that happens with mugs? I can see that it says Strand bookstore, 18 miles of books. You can't see it. You just think it's a wee mug that's beige and that goes aesthetically with the ambience here. But you know, it does say Strand bookstore. Can you see that? It says it. Perfect temperature. Wow. So, in terms of reading goals for 2025, I have decided reading goal number 1 is that I am going to have no numerical goals this year. No number goal, no 50 books, 60 books, 70 books, 100 books. Wow, would I ever? I'm not sure. I found this year that having a numerical reading goal really hindered my reading because I feel like I was kind of stuck on the numbers. I feel like because I was so stuck on the numbers, I was forcing myself to read when I didn't want to, which then was putting me in a slump, which then carried on to put me out of action for reading for like a month. So I don't think it really done me any favours. So I think I was in a good couple of like 2, maybe 3 reading slumps this year, and I don't really go that slumpy with books if I read a bit slower, if I slow down, if I actually think about what I want to read and think about what I enjoy reading and go for that. I'm very much a mood reader. That's really why I don't have I'm not involved in book clubs or anything like that, because I feel like I have pressure, and it's the only pressure that has been put on me is by me. So that's really something that I think I should work on, because I would like to be in a couple of book clubs. I would like at least one, you know what I mean? Maybe my own. Who knows in the future? Would you be interested in that? Let me know if you'd actually be interested in that, because I feel like that would be quite fun if we'd done something together, because then it might not be that much pressure. Oh, I don't know. Let me know. Reading goal number 2 is to actually get through my physical TBR. How I'm going to tackle this. Now, this may come as a shock to people. I am going to be deleting Kindle Unlimited. I'm not going to be subscribed to Kindle Unlimited anymore, and I'm going to be deleting my BookBeat. BookBeat is where I listen to the majority or all of the audiobooks that I've listened to. Number 1, I don't really listen to audiobooks that much. I was really trying to get into it this year, and it just wasn't quite I don't know, I feel like I don't really take it in. But yeah, I'm going to be deleting my BookBeat, and I'm also going to be deleting my subscription to Kindle Unlimited. Now, I'm not going to be getting rid of my Kindle completely, because I think having a couple of modes of reading, a couple of different ways of reading, is good to break it up. I think if I read too much physically, it'll be good to switch to my Kindle. I think it's important to go reading wise with what works for you. And for me, for this goal being that I actually want to get through my physical TBR this year, I just think this is going to work well. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to see how I am at the end of the quarter, and I'll tell you in my quarter 2 reset how I'm getting on with it, how I'm feeling about it. But that is going to be the goal. I'm going to be deleting my Kindle Unlimited subscription, and we'll just see how it goes, I guess. Goal number 3, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Give me your hand. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. No more monthly TBRs. Now listen, okay? Listen. Don't panic. Castle Rules is still happening. It's just not going to be a monthly TBR. As we all know with Castle Rules, if you've watched Castle Rules before, if you've not, I will link a Castle Rules. I've got a whole playlist of like all my Castle Rules videos. I love me a Castle Rules, and I think you all love a Castle Rules too. So I really did not want to get rid of it this year, even though I didn't want to do a monthly TBR. So the plan is, instead of setting myself a monthly TBR, I'm going to use my castle, use my wee turrets, use my prompts, and do a vlog. Do a video where I'm actually going to be reading the books that I pick from the turrets, because then I'll actually be reading what I've chosen. But I feel like when I was picking my monthly TBR, I was so excited about it when I first picked it, so excited about it. But again, I've mentioned I'm a mood reader. It would get to the end of the month and I would find that I'd only read maybe like 1 or 2 out of the 5 or 6 books that I'd picked. You guys were excited to see me read the books that I'd picked, okay? And then I ended up not reading those books that I'd picked. So I kind of felt a bit of guilt for me not reading them for myself, and also not reading them for you, because you guys would have wanted to see me and see my thoughts and feelings and like chatted about them and stuff like that. So I feel like when I'm doing Castle Rules now, and there will be a Castle Rules at the end of this month, don't you worry about it. I've got it all planned out. I'm just going to do a prompt per month from the castle, and I'm going to pick 3 books. Fingers crossed 3 books. It might be 2, depending on how big the books are. Again, I'm not going to force it if I'm not feeling it. But I'm going to hopefully read 3 books for each prompt, and I'm going to do a different prompt each month. So we'll still go round to 5 prompts. There'll still be fun things in there to do, but it'll just be 1 prompt per month. So like the first month is going to be colour. And I think that'll be a really good way of me getting through my physical TBR while still being able to do Castle Rules and just having a good time. So we're going to see how that goes for the first quarter. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we'll do it, and we'll see it, and we'll see if we like it. Okay? Let me know if you do. Keep this in check together. Okay? Okay. Goal number 4 is another one that I will be carrying over from 2024, because I never achieved this. I think throughout the full year, I only read 1 non-fiction book. I set out to read 12. So the goal for 2025 is to read 12 non-fiction books, 1 each month. And I think I have a plan for this also. So I'm going to kind of bring it down in chunks and not think about reading 12 non-fiction books a year, right? And I'm including memoirs in this because they are non-fiction essentially, aren't they? I have went and I've bought some new non-fiction memoirs that I feel like I will fancy, right? A couple ones that I'm really interested in, a couple of people that I'm really interested in hearing about, a couple of topics that I'm really interested in learning about. So I've got them on my shelves ready to go, and I'm just going to take it quarter by quarter. First quarter, 3 non-fiction books. I can do that. I can absolutely do that. I think I just need to kind of narrow it down to kind of more bite-sized chunks so that it's more digestible for me. I love doing things in 3s, right? It's just my thing. I love the number 3. The number 3 is so special and significant to me for some reason. I really can't explain it. It just is. I'm just so drawn to the number 3 all the time. It just makes sense to me, you know? I really, really, really want to achieve this year. So I feel like by doing that, I'm going to manage it, no bother. Goal number 5. This is the last goal I have for this year because it either goes in 3s or 5s, and I have 5 goals this year. Goal number 5 is I am going to have a low buy book year. Now, how this is going to work. As I've said at least 2 or 3 times in this video so far, I have a massive physical TBR. I don't actually know how many books I have on my shelf. I'm going to put the number here because see, by the time that I'm done this video, I'm going to put all my physical books into my story graph, all my physical books into my Fable, and I'm going to see the number. The number is going to be here. I feel like it's going to be massive. So But I have plenty of physical books on my TBR, so I don't need to be going out and buying more books. I don't need to. Like, everything I want is through there. I have horror, I have lit fic, I have non-fiction, I have romance, I have fantasy, I've got fantasy romance. I've got it all through there. Do you know what I mean? I've got it all through there in my wee book room that I love. And it's all just ready, sitting there, waiting to be read. So I feel like I don't really need to be going out and buying new books. Now, this does not mean I'm going to be buying no books next year because there are pre-orders, okay? I am allowing pre-orders from my favourite authors. So, Emily Henry, number 1. Kerry Ryan, number 2. Tia Williams, number 3. Kristen Becker Ritchie, number 4. Elsie Silver, number 5. All of these authors are going to be putting out books, or will probably be putting out books, or even if they announce a book, I'll be straight on purchase, pre-ordering that book because I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to love these books. I know I'm going to have a good reading experience with whatever they bring out. So in that sense, it really won't be like a wasted book purchase for me. I won't be like just spending a tenner willy-nilly because I want to buy a book. It'll be because I actually want to physically read that book and I know I'm going to enjoy it. On top of that, I am going to allow myself a couple of pre-orders, not that many, from authors that I haven't read from before because the books that I've heard or the books that I've seen the synopsis from, I am genuinely interested in. I feel like this year, any book that I've seen that I was mildly interested in, I was like, pre-order, buy. Do you know what I mean? Because I was kind of trying to fill a void, I'm not going to lie. But I think I ended up buying a good few books that I didn't enjoy because of that. And I think this year, I'm going to definitely think about it. Like, actually take a wee step back and think about it. Do you genuinely, Emma, think you're going to enjoy this book? Do you like the idea of it? Do you like the synopsis? Do you think it's your style? And that's not to say I'm not going to try books out with my comfort zone, but I have plenty of books in there that are out with my comfort zone, so I don't need to be buying any more. And then the kind of last way I'm going to allow myself to buy books, now that I'm thinking about it, there is one other way, but I'll tell you about this one first, is that I am allowing myself to buy the next book in a series if I am absolutely dying to pick it up. See, if I'm not totally dying to pick up the next book in the series, I'm just not going to. Out with that, I am going to allow myself to buy one book in January, and that book is going to be for a very special vlog because this channel's going to turn 1 in January. Thrilled about it. Can't believe I'm going to have a full year on BookTube. That's exciting. That's an achievement, you know. I feel like that's a really big achievement for me that I've managed to stick with this for a year, even though I've had a couple of breaks in between. But I'm going to treat myself and allow myself to buy one book for that because I'm obviously going to be vlogging, videoing and stuff. And the other time that I'm going to allow myself to buy books is my birthday. September's my birthday month. I'm a Virgo girl, Virgo woman, and I love birthdays. I'm a big birthday girl. I love a birthday. I love celebrating my birthday. I love celebrating other people's birthdays. I love celebrating people on their birthday. Do you know what I mean? I think birthdays are so special. So I'm going to allow myself to buy books around my birthday. I don't think I'll go crazy or anything like that. I don't think I'll be like buying up shops or whatever, but I think I'll definitely give myself a wee treat on my birthday this year as well. So that's me went through my goals. Now, we're going to move again. We're going to shift. We're getting all over my flat today, aren't we? I'm going to switch up my priority TBR shelf and that's it. So let's go. Recording. Are we recording? Yes, we are recording. And do you know why we're recording on my phone? Because my Rode mic has just gave out. I've had that 3 months max. So I'll be going to Curry's on the 2nd and be like, hey, can you fix this for me please? Because this is basically brand new. Thank you. Honestly, wouldn't be the first video back if there wasn't some technical issues, would there? Anyway, I have again stuck with the kind of colour coded bookshelf. We know I like to keep the colours together. So we've kind of got red going into pink, going into purple. white. This is my non-fiction, I'll go through that in a moment. And then we've kind of got green going into blue. So we'll start up the top. We've got Feybound, Tales of a Monstrous Heart, and then Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, big hardbacks. Now I've got Feybound and I've got Swordcatcher on here because these two are the first books in series. The next books in this series are coming out, I think the first quarter, if not this first quarter, maybe April or May. So I really want to get to these so that I can get the Waterstone special editions if I like the first book. If I don't like the first book, then I don't really need to worry about that, so it's not a big deal. I've got Scythe on here by Neil Shusterman because I am determined to get this done this year. Like, I'm determined. Like, it's going to happen. I've decided it's going to happen. I'm getting it done this year because I've read Scythe and I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. So I do have a feeling I'm going to like the other two in the series, but you know, I don't know. So I want to find out. And then up here, this is mostly kind of red going into pink, going into your kind of neutrals. So I've got Dishonestly Yours by Kristen Becca Ritchie. I don't quite know if I'm emotionally ready to go into another series by Kristen Becca Ritchie, but I've put it up there anyway. I've got Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, You Again, Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. Now, Better Than Fiction, I actually got this in a blind date with a book that I got from the Strand bookstore in New York, but I kind of have a video idea and maybe want to include this. I've got Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood, Boy Parts by Eliza Clark, and I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. This is probably the smallest book I have up here, as well as This Is How You Lose the Time War, because I wanted some short books on there, and I'm really interested in these two short books here. This one is more sci-fi, and this one is more dystopian. I've heard so much about this. I'm so excited to get into it. Then we have Assistant to the Villain, The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, which are both kind of fantasy. I think this one's more fantasy romance, Assistant to the Villain, and I think The Spirit Bears Its Teeth is YA fantasy, maybe horror. Then I've got The Striker, The Prospect, Behind the Net, and Fall With Me, which are all sports romance. Looking forward to that. I've got Whiskey Business by Elliot Fletcher, and then I've got Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriu. I now have a Fairyloot subscription. I know, like, imagine me having a Fairyloot subscription. I signed up and I was like, do you know what? It's probably one of those ones that's got lost. I'll never hear from them, and it'll be what it is, right? It'll be what it is. The universe is what it is, okay? But then I got an email from them and it's like, oh, you've now off the waiting list for your Fairyloot subscription. And I was like, what? I was like, it's literally, I went and checked when I signed up for it, and almost a year to the day is when I signed up for it. And I was like, well, I've done it now, so I'm a Fairyloot subscriber now. But this one is going on the priority TBR. This is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriu. Now, I was going to order the original copy of this. I decided against it because I had a feeling that this was going to be the December book. I've only had 2 boxes so far. I've had the November box and I've had the December box. This one, it's nice. It's so nice, right? But I kind of opened it up and I was a bit like, oh, okay. Not like so fussed with it. Not so over the moon with it, because I really, really like the original cover. I'll put it here. I really like the original cover of this book. So I was a bit like, not sure. It's got sprayed edges. Thought, yeah, they're nice too. Matches the cover. Then I opened it up, didn't I? Number 1, it has a reversible dust jacket. I love this colour. I love this colour. I love that it's like the purple, but it's still really dark, and then it's kind of got the peachy pink on the sides. So I'm probably going to use this cover whenever I use it. So have that. And then, of course, when I took the dust jacket off, I was simply aghast by how good this naked hardback looks. This is stunning. Like, this is unreal. This is unreal scenes. Like, this is why I wanted a Fairyloot subscription. Now, I can't even remember what this is about, but I do think it has something maybe to do with astrology. But this is the front cover. Literally stunning. This is the spine, and this is the back. I just love it. These right here are your end pages. And then these are the end pages at the back as well. Now, I have the Romantasy only subscriptions. I only get the box and it's only the Romantasy book. Having the Fairyloot subscription is also another reason why I wanted to do the low buy book year, because I'm getting a book every single month anyway, and then I have pre-orders on top of that, so I don't need to be going out myself and buying physical books, because I'm going to be getting a new Romantasy book in every single month this year. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how long I'm going to keep the subscription for. I think I'm going to give it a good chance, see how I feel, see if I think it's actually benefiting me as a reader, and if not, then I'll cancel it, and if I want to keep it on, then I'll keep it on. Moving down onto the second shelf, I have my whites and neutral books here. So I've got Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mass. This is another fantasy romance series that I am dying to get into. Now, I originally downloaded this on Kindle Unlimited, and then it got taken off Kindle Unlimited, even though I still had it on Kindle Unlimited, because it was getting traditionally published. So of course I went on to Watchstones. They had a special edition. That's it there. These three I haven't taken off the TBR. I've got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, The Poppy War and Trial of the Sun Queen. Over here we have 2 of the 3 books that I have chosen for my non-fiction books for the first quarter. The first one being Manifesto by Candice Brathwaite. I've said before and I'll say it again, I love following Candice on social media. I really mostly follow her on Instagram because she seems to be really active over there. Now, Candice does a lot of different things. She puts out a lot of fashion content, a lot of like fitness content. She does speeches, she writes books, she does a whole load of things. So I'm very excited to get into this, and I think it would be a good one for January because it says unlock the life you deserve, and I just think that's a good one to start off with, you know. Second non-fiction book I have for the first quarter is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall, and it says Notes from the Woman White Feminists Forgot. I think this will just be a good one to get into. This one is like going to be my proper non-fiction rather than like memoir. I do have a memoir that I'm going to stick on this list, which I'll tell you about in a minute, but I'm interested to get into this one because I feel like it's going to be good. To give you an idea of the content that's going to be included in this book, I'll give you a couple of the chapter names. So one of the chapters is called Hunger, one of the chapters is called It's Raining Patriarchy, another one called Fear and Feminism, and then another one called Race, Poverty and Politics. And that's only a few. So I'm very excited to get into this one. This will be like a good kind of learning one on the topic of feminism, which I am interested in. So looking forward to reading this. Then on the bottom shelf, this actual whole wee pile here has not moved. So on the bottom we have Legendborn by Tracy Dion, then we've got The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, Jade City by Fonda Lee. These 3 are fantasy. This one's YA fantasy, The Book of Azrael is fantasy, why did I do that? Fantasy romance, and then Jade City is just fantasy. Then we've got The Final Offer by Lauren Nasher, and then The Wicked King by Holly Black. These 2 were on my series to finish in 2024. I have not finished them. The Wicked King is the middle book in the series, and The Final Offer is the last book in this series. This is Dreamland Billionaire series. I have said before I did not like the first 2 books in this series, and I'm very hesitant to get onto The Final Offer because I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm hoping, and I'm trying to go in with an open mind, okay, because a lot of people say that Cal and Alana, their book, is the best book in the series, but because I didn't like the first 2, what does that say about the third? I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it, right? But it's on there because I want to finish it. I want to complete a series, so it's there. And then The Wicked King by Holly Black, because I was listening to this on audio, but I just wasn't quite grasping it. Got to halfway through, I fell off it and then couldn't remember anything that had happened. So that's on there. Then we have Masters of Death by Olivia Blake, Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang, Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah, because I said that this was giving November vibes, and November is when I went in my reading slump, so that was excellent timing for that. Then we've got Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This will be another one. If I read this, I think that'll be that series completed, because I've read Just for the Summer, I've read Part of Your World, I read it out of order, obviously. But this is the middle one at the moment. I don't know if her new book, is it Say You'll Remember Me? I don't know if that's going to be the 4th in this series or if it's going to be in a different series. But it's all interconnected standalones, so you don't need to read them in order. But anyway, looking forward to reading that, and then I'll hopefully be able to finish another series. I've got Was I Ever Here, You Should Be So Lucky, Off to the Races, King of Sloth, another book that if I read it, I will complete a series, or I will at least be up to date with a series. Bear Time by Frederick Backman. Don't you worry about a thing. We're going to go through that together. You and I, you and me. We're going to be going through Beartown together. Fingers crossed in January. Then we've got Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I did have the first book in the Kingmaker duet by Kennedy Ryan on my TBR previously, but because I have the entire Hoop series by Kennedy Ryan, like, it's in there. You can see it. So I think I'm just going to put Long Shot on there and hopefully get to that. I've got Travis by Mia Sheridan, This Is How You Lose the Time War, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, because if I want a good cry, I know where to go. And then I caved and I bought Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Now, this one has very mixed reviews. Like, this was on a lot of people's like kind of worst books of the year, okay? So I'm a bit sceptical. My friend has read it. She enjoyed it. She actually went and bought the physical copy because she enjoyed it so much, which says a lot because she doesn't really buy physical books. So I was like, do you know what? we'll give it a go. I actually forgot to tell you about the third non-fiction book I have for the first quarter of the year, and it's a memoir, and it is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. I've ordered it from Waterstones, it's on its way, just hasn't arrived yet. And if you don't know who Kelly Bishop is, then you've probably not watched Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls, I grew up on Gilmore Girls. I loved Gilmore Girls. I still do love Gilmore Girls. Am I happy about how the storylines went for a lot of the characters? No. Not in the slightest. So I'm really excited to get into this memoir. I'm excited to hear more about Kelly Bishop's life. It doesn't specifically focus on Gilmore Girls, even although that is a big part of her career. There's a lot of other things that are obviously going to go on about it because it's a memoir of her life, so that's not the only thing that she's done. So I'm excited to see what else she's done and excited to hear what she has to say. So that is the third non-fiction book for this quarter. So there we go. That is my entire priority physical TBR that I have chosen for the first quarter of 2025. Also, if I didn't say it at the start of this video, have a wonderful new year. I hope you have had a wonderful new year because this is going up on the 1st. So I hope you have had a wonderful new year celebration. If you haven't, then I hope you at least have time to rest and relax and just enjoy your time if you have any time off. I really hope you do have some time off, at least in between Christmas and New Year or January as a whole, because you know what? If I've learned anything from 24 is that rest is required. Rest is required. So I hope you get that for yourself. But that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a wee like, give it a wee thumbs up, subscribe if you want to come back and see more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, I've missed saying that.